what have you noticed out in the market? How did the open houses go this past weekend? We had a realtor, Melanie, shared with us, and she shared on Facebook as well. She was frustrated because she had booked 8 showings. 6 of them were CS. And one of the things we're seeing is that there's lots of activity in lower price ranges. Now, a lot of you have those listings between 6 and 8. I was talking to a lot of realtors, or a couple of realtors, and they're like, oh, I got those listings above 600. Yes, we're still seeing some slow activity in those marketplaces.
Yes.
But we want to know from you guys, what did you guys experience this past weekend?
What's interesting to build on that, Lindsey, is that last weekend I was the manager on call, and this weekend I was monitoring the on call as well. We have had an increase in competing offers, and it's a noticeable uptick. We've got a lot of agents that are navigating the competing offers with multiple offers, as a matter of fact. Properties in the towns outside of Calgary, so it's not just limited to the major area, but it's happening all around. So it's some exciting things to see that the market is picking up indeed, as it always does at this time of year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's one. And so encouraging. We do expect to see a spring marketplace, as always. And so we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But let's get into it. Let's take a look at some of the prices here. First of all, our price of oil sitting at 56.04, and that is down slightly from 56.07, so basically flat. Western Canadian Select is sitting at 45.26 versus 44.47. There was a time that Western Canadian Select was at like $15 a barrel.
Yes, not too long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago, a few months ago actually, and then we changed the, obviously had some production cuts. So we'll see where that all shakes out, but we're keeping an eye on those, and hopefully you guys like the new slide there, which we will be emailing out to you guys as well.
When it comes to listings and sales for Metro Calgary, listings is slightly up, as we expected this time of year, 6,259 versus 6,034 from last week. And for sales, we are at 1,128 versus 1,229, which is down 8.22%, which I don't anticipate is going to hold for very long.
Yeah, as far as it goes in the rest of Alberta, we have Red Deer with the sales being down slightly, 608 versus 610. And we're actually seeing Red Deer, and we're going to see Lethbridge here in a second too, but sales are up 5.49% over the rolling 30-day period at the same time. So that's fantastic to see as well.
For Lethbridge, listings are down 1 listing, 739 versus 740. And for sales, we are actually up 12.87%. We're at 114 versus 101.
Perfect. And another one that we want to show this week is actually our mortgage rates. And the reason we want to show the mortgage rates here is obviously the Bank of Canada had their rate announcement, and they said, we're not doing anything. We don't have any plans to do anything at the moment. So we're seeing it still hold pretty steady. But we want to thank TD Canada Trust
Indeed.
For putting out those mortgage rates for us. And we are sitting at 4.50 for a 1-year open. But the big ones that you guys will see most common is the 3-year and the 5-year fixed, sitting at 3.59 and 3.69 respectively.
Let's shift our focus and give a little bit of advice that maybe our agents should be imparting onto their buying clients.
Sure.
When it comes to buying clients, one thing you have to remember is whether it's a seasoned buyer or a brand new buyer, they don't have the skills or expertise like you as a professional do. And in a lot of aspects, buyers simply don't know what they don't know. I can recall when I was selling, and a lot of times I'd get that buyer that was looking for very specific properties. Some of them said, you know, I've got to have a formal dining room. And when you sit there and you ask them, okay, how often are you going to use this formal dining room? And they say, oh, I'm going to use it on Christmas Day. And then you look at them and you say, so we're going to focus our entire search on finding a home that you're going to use the formal dining room once per year.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we maybe consider if that's that important? Because you can really make do on that one day.
Totally.
That's just one example of many things that your buyers will have. They'll have these perceptions on what they want, but really maybe they haven't fully thought it through. So I feel it's your job to challenge them to step out of their comfort zones and really break it down and analyze so that they can get the best home, best bang for their buck.
Nice.
Another thing is that you should focus on setting really good expectations with your buyers. I often found in my career that if you showed them what a good deal looked like from previous sales in the last 30, 60, 90 days, you can start educating them so that when you get out to see that 5th property, they can see the good deal in front of them instead of questioning it and not pulling the trigger. And as we all know, sometimes it turns into house number 50 before they find the one that compares to number 5.
Yeah, totally.
So try to set those expectations and really educate them. You know, somebody looking for a 20-year home, so what if they spend an extra $5,000 or $10,000? If it's the home that's going to make them happy for 20 years, you got to educate them on when to pull the trigger and maybe when to avoid it.
What are your thoughts on sellers in this market?
Sellers, it's kind of what we've been talking about for a while. You don't want to get caught into the trap of chasing the market down. It's one of those situations where just trying to see if I can get that extra 20 or 30 grand, this is not the time to do it. But also to study your exact competition of who's out there, the recent sales. If you have something unique that offers something that's missing in the market, that's a time when maybe you do price it, you know, on a little bit on the higher side, but not 20, 30 grand over.
Right.
You really got to understand your market with who your active competition is in the recent sales that support you, so that your clients can make the best and most informed decision as to what to list for and what to expect.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I want to pause on that for a second. We do expect to see a spring marketplace.
We do.
And we do expect to see more listings come on the market. We do expect to see sales volume to increase. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Your clients are going to make a move. If there's any time that they're thinking about it, probability is that they're thinking about it right now. So you need to make sure that you're getting in touch with everybody in your database.
Yep.
The other thing that I wanted to kind of build on that, it's like, well, what do you talk to your clients about? Well, we showed 5 different stats slides on the screen there. We have another 8. We have another 8 that we're going to be cycling through. One of the things we want to do is, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be showing them during the break, so you guys aren't going to lose your stat slides. We're going to revamp this section a little bit. But you guys are going to get these emailed out to you, and they're going to have the average price in it, Red Deer, Lethbridge. We're going to have the benchmark price for Calgary. We're going to have the surrounding communities. We added in Olds, which is nice. We added in Brooks, so it's all there. We have average prices in those communities as well. This is the information that you guys can help start talking to your clients about, because as we see the uptick in sales, you guys are going to be able to work with your sellers to make sure that they're positioning themselves well, and your buyers, time for them to take advantage of the inventory that's out there as well.
Indeed. One thing to consider as well is there was a lot of people that tried selling in the last year, maybe even the last 2 years, and they might be down thinking that there's too much competition. When if you study their exact community and their house style, you may be pleasantly surprised to find that they don't have a lot of competition right now. Getting on the market quickly because you've already got the photos, you've already got the measurements, you've got a previous listing, you can hit market really quickly and maybe capitalize on the lack of competition in some of the areas.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so again, as soon as we finish up our first break, you guys are going to see more of the stat slides. All this is going to be emailed out to you as well, so you guys can pick and choose what you want to share on social media and educate your clients with. And we hope you guys like the new designs and the increased amount of information there. So you're not missing anything. We're just adding on. But eventually, this segment's going to be tightened up a little bit, and make sure you guys get all the information that's important to you. So thank you so much, Terence.
My pleasure.
Let's talk a little about what's happening in the company.